Hi, it's Tanya from My Forking Life, and today we're in the kitchen and we are making a southern favorite, shrimp and grits. Now, I love shrimp and grits and I've had it all different kinds of ways. Every time I go somewhere, I'm ordering shrimp and grits, but this way that I'm making it today is my favorite, not just because it's my recipe, but because it's delicious. All right, let's get started. Now for this dish, we are going to use certain ingredients because like I said, you can have all kinds of shrimp and grits, but I like mine to have a nice red gravy that has tomatoes and other spices. The other thing I'm going to use is make some really creamy grits with stone ground grits. These are, whenever I'm eating shrimp and grits, I've got to have a really good base and you got to use the stone ground for this recipe. Just my suggestion. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to combine and start with making our grits. So it's gonna take about 30 minutes. Stone ground grits take longer to cook. So to a heavy bottom pot, anytime you're making grits or anything, you wanna use a heavy bottom pot so it doesn't scorch. I'm gonna add 2 cups of water and 2 cups of heavy cream. That is gonna make these grits so extra creamy, extra. And then I like to add salt into my grits, so I'm adding like a whole tablespoon and a half. I'm not adding any sugar to these. Gonna also add some unsalted butter, 2 tablespoons. And then I am going to whisk in my grits as well. Just go ahead and stir it in. And we're doing the grits in one pot and then we're gonna do our shrimp in another. All right, so I'm gonna bring this to a boil over medium-high heat. Then I'm gonna cover it and reduce it and turn it on low until those grits are nice and creamy and cooked. All right, so our mixture has come to a boil. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this with a tight fitting lid and let that simmer for about 25 to 30 minutes. I'm actually gonna stir it occasionally just to make sure those grits don't get stuck to the bottom. Let it simmer away. All right, so now that our grits are cooking, we are going to go ahead and start our shrimp and grits. Now, with any delicious recipe, we're gonna start with bacon. And I've got 4 slices of bacon and I'm going to cut them into little strips. I think this is a hack for you. An easy way to cut bacon is just to use some kitchen shears, rather than trying to do it with a knife on a cutting board. That is too much. So this is what, see how fast that is? All right, and I'm gonna separate this bacon in this skillet. And I'm setting this over medium heat. And I turned it down, so that's gonna probably take a little bit of time. So while my bacon takes about 10 minutes to cook over medium heat. So while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and get my other ingredients ready. So I'm gonna use half of a sweet onion. This onion is huge, so I'm gonna probably use like a third of it. Big old onion. This onion look like it's been beat up. All right, and I'm gonna use about half of a green pepper for flavor and color. Cut that part up too. Don't cut your hand. And make sure you keep a close eye on that bacon. You do not want it to burn. Burnt bacon is not, it's not a good look. And I'm also gonna go ahead and chop up a green onion, although I'm going to add that in last. Great. All right, my bacon is nice and crispy. And I'm gonna go ahead and just set that to the side. I'm gonna grab these. And my bacon has released a lot of bacon grease, which is a good thing, but you also don't want too much bacon grease because it's just unnecessary. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the bacon and set it to the side. And then because there's so much bacon grease, I'm going to pour off some of this grease, but I'm going to leave about a tablespoon in there. I'm gonna save that for later. I'm gonna return the pot and I'm gonna add my onions and peppers. Yeah. We wanna saute these onions and peppers in this bacon grease for about 3 to 4 minutes. Give them a chance to soften. That looks soft. Onions and peppers. All right. So our onions and peppers have softened. They are looking really good. So we're gonna go ahead and add the remainder of our ingredients for our sauce. So I've got a can of diced. So I've added a can of fire roasted red tomatoes. That is that red sauce. And I'm going to season that up a little bit. So I'm gonna add some Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce, some brown sugar just to balance the acidity of the tomatoes, and I'm gonna add a little bit of sour cream to make this nice and creamy. And I like spice. I don't know what it is about a little bit of spice, just don't add too much, but I'm gonna add a little bit of red pepper flakes. That's good. I'm going ahead and stir that and get that all combined. And once I've gotten that all combined and made a really pretty sauce, I'm going to add our most important ingredient, the shrimp. Now, my shrimp, I have seasoned it with salt and pepper beforehand, just to add a little bit of flavor. And I'm just gonna put that right into this sauce. This is peel and deveined shrimp. No tails or anything like that, because you don't want to be picking tails out when you're eating shrimp and grits. And I'm just gonna add that to the sauce and cover the shrimp up. This is gonna cook in about 3 to 4 minutes. You do not want to overcook your shrimp because then it'll be rubbery. And you'll know it's done when your shrimp turns from this gray color to nice and pink. Okay, if you see, our shrimp is cooked in our delicious gravy, and it was so easy to come together. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this heat off and move this to the side and revisit my grits. Thanks. Yeah, my grits. They look wonky right now, right? But that's because they were cooking over low and they are nice and creamy. Just give them a stir. And you could serve your grits like this, but I'm gonna be a little bit extra today. And I'm gonna turn these creamy grits into cheesy creamy grits and just add some shredded cheddar cheese. This is cheese that I shredded. Do not buy the stuff in the bag. It's just not gonna melt as smooth. And I'm just gonna stir it into these grits. This is gonna give you another depth of flavor to this. Cheesy grits. All right, now it is time for me to plate my shrimp and grits because I'm hungry. All right, so to plate your shrimp and grits, all you're gonna do is grab some nice spoonfuls of grits. I'm gonna do about that much grits, and then I'm gonna get some of this. You want to make sure you get ample shrimp and ample sauce. And then we're going to top it with some of that bacon that we crisped up earlier, just a little, and some green onion. Oh my gosh, shrimp and grits. Let me go ahead and clean this. All right. Now it's the moment of truth. Make sure you get enough of that cheesy grit, a little bit of that bacon and that shrimp. It's gonna be hot. This is good. I'm gonna take another bite. All All right, guys. Shrimp and grits, one of my favorite dishes, the way that I like it. I hope you like it too. Don't be intimidated to make this because it's really easy and delicious. All right, guys, until the next time, bye. Hey, Google.
Stop timing.
I thought I stopped it.